stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. Aspire for more.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you are well wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this. Welcome to another episode of Journey Toward More, where we discuss topics to help you manifest more of what is for you, more of what you desire, more of what is aligned with who you are, more of what honors you on your journey toward more. I am your host, Dr. Tammy Francis, life strategist, literacy educator and consultant, author, speaker. I am so glad that you are here and listening to this episode. It's been, I don't know when you're listening to this, but typically in the month of May, I take a short break, a couple of weeks, about a month to be exact, break because that's my birthday month. And so it's been a little while since we've had an episode or that I've uploaded an episode. So I'm so excited that I'm back and we are here for another episode. Today's title is Be Salty. I know. The urban phrase is don't be salty. And I'm going to play on that and encourage you to be salty. What do you mean, Dr. Tammy? What's going on here? So this episode is straight encouragement. So it is my thoughts around that and just to encourage you. So if you are going through something, if there's something that is challenging in your life, if you have done something amazing or you've made a big decision and you just need a push to keep going, this episode is for you. And if you just like listening to me and hear what crazy things will come out of my mouth, this is the episode for you. And so as you go through your week, I want you to be salty. As you set your goals, I want you to be salty. As you navigate the month, the quarter, the year, I want you to be salty. So let's talk about salt. And when I say salt, I mean table salt. So let me just throw that out there. I'm talking about table salt and what it means and how that is a metaphor for how we should be salty. So let's just get a few things out of the way that we're not going to talk about as it relates to, say, table salt. And that's really the physical or chemical benefits of it. Like staying hydrated because it balances out the sodium and the potassium. We're not going to stress about how it promotes vascular health or balances the electrolytes and prevent muscular cramping, or how it supports the nervous system and improves our sleep. Those are there. I threw those out there as to make sure that I cover it all. But let me just say that's not the focus. The focus is on the actual grain, the actual little mineral of salt. That is salt. And I want to just talk about it. So salt, of course, if you've ever tasted salt, you ever had salt or something has been seasoned with salt, we know salt can be salty, like we like to say, But salty is one of those interesting minerals that can be sweet, it can be bitter, it can be sour, it can be savory. So today I want to focus on how it is salty, savory, and sweet. So salt is one of those interesting things. I don't know if your family was like my family, and some of the things we like to eat. But we couldn't afford a lot. We were not rich. I wouldn't even say we were middle class, although the income lines at the time may put us, when both of my parents were working, may put us right at the bottom of that. But we couldn't afford a lot. And I know that myself, my siblings, my first cousins, we like to eat things that were salty, like pickles, which had that sour. We said salt can be sour. We like to eat that. But we really liked, I don't know if you remember this, and I can't remember what it's called. I think we called it Lucas, but it was like a lemon salt. It was salt flavored with lemon. Very inexpensive, and so we can get it at the dollar store. But I remember us liking that, and even liking that on our pickle, which was already a little sour, right? Salty sour. And I remember us liking that on different things. And we ate that stuff. But it seemed to turn something ordinary into like dessert, to turn it into something great and special. And so salt played a big part in how we even flavored our food or seasoned our food. So salt is one of those things that is just, I hate to say the end all be all, since we're talking about don't be salty as a play on the phrase don't be salty, but it's one of those things that's really necessary. And it is necessary for food as a preservative, but also as a seasoning, like I said. Salt is also valuable. I was looking up different things about salt, and one of the things that I came across, and I knew it was valuable in the sense of that it was necessary and how we used it, but I actually found out that the exchange rate on salt equals to gold. That's how valuable it is when we're talking about money and that the cost, that kind of value. So salt is a seasoning, it's a preservative, it's a disinfectant. It's something that people use in ceremonial offerings. There's usually salt involved or salty things. It's also, of course, a unit exchange. So because it is so valuable, some people used it like money in certain times, in certain centuries. They used it as money. So salt is so much. So in thinking about what salt is and all that it is a seasoning, it's a preservative, all of those things. I want you to be salty, be sweet, and be savory. So be sweet in this idea of being kind. Be kind in what you do. We're going to talk about the next level of that. Be savory. You know, you want people to want you around. You want people to enjoy you around, your presence, and enjoy you being around. Those are things that you want. So savory in the sense that your presence means something. Be salty, y'all. There's a phrase or an idiom that says worth its salt, or worth one's salt, which means someone or something deserves respect and worth its cost and has value, so it's valuable. So as you go through this week, I want you to be worth your salt, or the salt, one salt. Think about how you can be necessary In all the spaces you occupy, be a preservative of legacy, whether it's the legacy you are creating, the legacy that was left to you. How are you preserving the legacy? So be necessary, be a preservative, be a disinfectant. I talked about being sweet, be kind, be a disinfectant against evil. Disinfect evil, the bad, those things that are negative in your space. Scrub your space. Get rid of those things out of your space. So be a disinfectant. And be a seasoning. A lot of my platform is talking about setting goals and action behind the goals. And it's good to put those on paper. It's good to write those down on your vision board, wherever you like to put them. It is a great thing to do. But the one thing that some of us forget is ourselves and all of that. What are your tendencies? What are your pet peeves? What about yourself? And whatever you write down, whatever you put on your vision board, you should be the season. You should add to that. You should complete the success recipe. But sometimes I know we forget that. So, and when I say this, it relates to you, your goals, and what you plan to do. Think about the places you navigate, the spaces you occupy, the spaces that you enter and leave. And are you being salty? Are you showing up as your best self? Are you being necessary? Is what you do in that space something your ancestors, your grandparents would be proud of? Are you being a preservative of the legacy that you were left, the legacy you are leaving? Even in those spaces, be a disinfectant. There are some that just adds more dirt on top of what's going on. Are you checking those spaces? I know there's a quote that I always mention about your circle and how your circle's getting smaller. Sometimes that part of disinfecting your space and getting rid of those things that are no longer serving you, be a disinfectant. And be a seasoning. Make sure that wherever you enter, wherever you leave, wherever you are hanging out, that you're adding something to that space. You're not taking from the energy, you're raising the vibration. You're raising the energy of that space by adding that seasoning, being so necessary that you in that space made a difference. So I'm going to leave you with, you deserve respect, worth one salt. We talked about that is someone or something that deserves respect. You deserve respect. So show up where that is what other people know you expect. You are worthy. You are worthy of whatever it is you desire. So when you show up as if it is done. You're worthy. You are valuable. You are valuable. Which means you add value to those things that you touch. Whether it is a project, you have a goal, whether it is actually just going somewhere, being somewhere. You are valuable. You're adding value. So be the salt. Wherever you are, as you navigate the world, think about yourself as the salt. And showing up as that. Now, it's one thing to know it, y'all. So let me just say this. It's one thing to know it. But to show up and to act and to actually live that way, that's another. So this is just an encouragement. So it's just really short. But I want you to know that be the salt. Which means I want you to be salty. That sounds like a good hashtag. It sounds like it should be a song. Just thinking about it. So be salty. Be necessary. Be a preservative. Be a disinfectant. And be the seasoning. So here's my quote for you. Besides be salty and hashtag be salty. Is stop waiting for what could or should be. And start creating what will be. Which means you show up as the salt. You be salty. You be necessary. You be savory. You be sweet. That's what that means. Stop waiting for what could or should be and start creating what will be. So what are you waiting on? What are you creating? What are you doing to be salty? What are you doing every day in all that you do, the major aspects of your life, to be salty? To add value, to be necessary, to preserve what is or will be, to stop those things that are not serving that space, that environment, that project, that goal, whatever it is. And what are you adding to it? Are you adding something of value that makes a difference, like the seasoning? Something to think about. Something to think about. So as you go through the week, the month, the quarter, the year, be the salt. Be salty. I am your host, Dr. Tammy Francis. Thank you so much for joining me today, or whenever you're listening to this, night. It could be night. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here with me today and downloading. Hopefully you downloaded the episode. I sure hope you have. So make sure that if you haven't done that, you do that. Download the episode. This podcast is available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, even on my YouTube channel. So if you know someone who could benefit from listening to this episode or one of the previous episodes, share it with them. And definitely, I encourage you to do the same, to definitely listen to them as well, and check them out. You can follow me across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, Snapchat, all at Dr. Tammy Francis. I actually have a guidebook, a playbook that you can get on Amazon or one of the online distributors. That's called Manifesting More, a playbook for planning and living on purpose, which can help you map out your goals, give you strategies for creating action steps in all aspects of your life, which pushes you to be salty. Make sure that if you do hop onto my YouTube channel, you follow me on YouTube at Dr. Tammy Francis, that you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and definitely watch some of the videos there and tell me what you think. Comment and chat with me in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, those sorts of things. And I appreciate you being here. That is my commercial break for this episode, is just make sure that you connect with me. Come back and listen to other episodes. Some of them I tell more stories than this one, but this one was really just an encouragement for you to be salty. You are worth one's salt. You are good. You are adding value. You are necessary. You are savory. You are the seasoning. Show up great. Show up as such, and make sure that everything you do and the choices you make are pushing you to be salty. Take care. Have a great week, and I will see you on another episode of Journey Toward More. Bye.
should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself, you'll get more. You should aspire for more. Aspire for more. You should aspire for more. You should aspire for more.